Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of Office Hours. One of your hosts, DSmooth, and I'm not here alone.
Nick, welcome back, everybody, for the last episode of season one. Thank you for sticking with
Yes.
us. Like, this has been a journey. We are so happy to have you, and we are so excited for all the great things to come. But this has been an excellent first season, and it's just a
Yes.
foundation for great things to come.
Yes. Yes. I'm really excited. So this episode we wanna explain like our health concerns and let you guys into our lives a little bit or whatever. So I'll go first. My disability was acquired when I was 12 years old. I was playing basketball. Well, like every other 12-year-old, we all want to go to the NBA. We all think we great at basketball, whatever.
Yeah.
So I played on two basketball teams, one for the park district and one for school. Well, at this time, I was playing for the park district, and I was going up for a rebound, and I had got elbowed in the head. So my neck snapped back and then snapped forward, causing my injury, and that's how it happened. So I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna have to look off and look at my notes a couple times because this was a while ago. I got it written down, so you're gonna see me looking at my phone. So yeah, once that happened, I went to the hospital. Well, it took a few days for it to settle in and kind of mess with my body or whatever. And I eventually went to the hospital. I had difficulty walking, and the left side of my body had shut down. Now, when I mean shut down, it didn't like, oh, just whatever. It was dragging on the ground or whatever. But when I'm saying shut down, is like I got affected. So paralyzed, I guess you would say. Yeah, let's go with paralyzed. So, so my dad took me to the ER to say, "Oh, what's going on?" So we could see what's going on because we had no idea what was going on. So we go to the ER, and they run a test on me, and they trying to figure out as best as they can because I was young. I was 12 at this time. So they like, oh, we don't really. They didn't know because they not used to seeing cases with a 12-year-old that's this serious. So going to the doctor, they ran about five MRIs on me. I had got two X-rays done on me, and they get me. I had they ran some CTI tests on me too. So my doctors initially believe I had this one disease. Let me see. I mean, not disease, but this one health condition. They thought it was vasculitis, but no, it turned out to be a swelling, a blood swelling in my vessels. And eventually it was a stroke at 12, man. That's crazy. 12 years old, had a stroke,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that is
Never,
that's crazy, fam.
yeah, never would have thought in a million years. Never. So I was in the hospital. I spent almost about 3 weeks in the hospital. I had family come up there because family was very concerned because, like I said, I was 12 years old when this happened. Nobody had no idea. I had
Yeah.
no idea. I was scared. Parents scared. Everybody scared. But the person that stuck by my bedside was my dad. He was there almost every day. He was there making sure I was good, making sure we was getting everything taken care of. And now that I think about it, I'm like, man, I really appreciated that. I'm thankful he did it because, man, I was a kid, 12 years old. I was a kid.
Yeah. I
So
mean, your
yeah,
dad, I mean, that's real. Like, I mean,
yes,
you needed somebody. It's not even
yeah,
like you needed somebody. And to have your
yes,
dad there, I know meant everything.
yes, it did. Yes. So I can give my return home. Like I said, I spent 3 weeks in the it took 3 weeks to figure out what was the cause and what I had and how we can take steps to get better. So returning home, yes, I had to go to therapy. I took occupational and physical therapy. While when I first got back home, yes. And school, I wasn't able to go straight to school, so I had to get a little homeschooling for a little bit just to get back acclimated with everything or whatever. But I was able to make it to graduation and got my eighth grade diploma. Yes. So now it's been 15 years since I had the initial stroke when I was 12. So it's been 15 years since I had the stroke and I'm still recovering every day. So I do things like I'm a pescatarian. I work out to keep my health to be in good health and to keep my blood pressure and cholesterol down. Yes. But things that I do to relieve stress or take my mind off of everything I like to do. I'm a comedian, yes. And I've been doing comedy for about 7 years now. I started when I was 21. I'm 28 now, so I've been doing comedy for 7 years. I love music, I put music together for like family gatherings and everything. Yeah, nothing like you can YouTube me. Not on the music side, but you can YouTube me on the comedy side. And for health, like I said, I go to the gym. I try to work out 3 times a week for about a good 30-35 minutes a day. So yeah, I'll try to get that in just to keep up with my health and make sure I don't tip back over. I want to stay where I'm at now and get better. So yeah, those are things that I do. Yeah, that's just my half of who I am. Now we can let Nick speak.
Man, because I'm not gonna lie, like this is a little new for me. Not a little, this is a lot new for me. I don't really talk about my health. I have this disease I was born with. Like, so you acquired yours. I was born with my sickle cell disease. And like for those that don't know, like what it does is like your cells are like circles, right? But with sickle cell, your cells can be a lot of different shapes. They can be just little squiggly lines. They can be, but most of them are like little sickles, like the like what you would cut a wheat like with, and so like little like C shapes. Um, and for I have SS, so there's different types. Mine is SS. SS is like 95% more, or 95% and more are sickle cell. So I don't like less than 5% of my cells are like regular circle shape. And I was born with it. I don't even, it's so funny. Me and my mom will kind of talk about it at times. Like, when did you tell me I had sickle cell? And I really don't remember. And she doesn't really remember when she told me. It's just always been a thing. Nick has sickle cell. I don't remember the first crises. I don't really remember. If I had to say the first crisis, I think I like really, really remember was when I got my spleen or gallbladder taken out. I would think I was like 5 or 6. I think that's like the first thing I really like sickle cell wise. I like really remember for real. I lived a regular life. I had regular dreams, I would say. I was on the bowling team in grade school, and that kind of helped me feel some athletic desire. But I do think my entire life, I've definitely not fully accepted that I have sickle cell, I would say, because there are moments that I don't feel fine, but I can go into the world and no one knows I have anything. Like if you saw me on the street, like now I walk with a cane, but I didn't for the majority of my life. And even with my cane, they're still like, oh, well, he has a cane. Like, it's not that much. I think I've used that as a way to like not really deal with the fact that I have a disability. Um, and I have a health concern that's really caused me a lot of issues. In high school, I did a lot of things. In the moment, we're reckless. In hindsight, we're reckless. I knew I wanted to be in the marching band. That was like a big goal of mine in high school to be in the marching band. And I was like, I'm gonna be in a marching band. I don't care what I'd have to do. I get to this freshman, it's like a workout to kind of prep your body to be able to handle the rigors of being a marching band for the whole season. Because if you come and you go through the workout thing, you're pretty much in the band. It's not like a tryout type thing. But I knew I wasn't physically there. But I didn't want to say anything about like, oh, I need extra water, or I need extra rest, or I need like I always my entire life have wanted to present common health wise. It led me into like this really long, like 7 week hospital stay. It was really long. My sophomore year, I went back and I tried again. I finished the workout thing, but then I got into the hospital during the school year and I missed like almost 2 months. And like Dave, I had to have homeschooling for pretty much the next year and a half, because I went to the hospital in like September. I got out of the hospital, it was like after Thanksgiving. By the time I felt ready to even attempt some schoolwork, it was winter break. So I had pretty much missed an entire half a year of school. I get back to school, I'm not doing that well. And so I like they're homeschooling me to kind of get me back on track. And then I go into my junior year. I don't know everything a junior should know. And so I'm still like, I would go to class like a regular junior, but then after school, I would meet with a private tutor. His name was, I'll never forget his name, Dr. Thomas Porter. Skinny, white guy, blonde hair, and he really knew math. He knew math very, very well.
Mm.
And he helped me, get a lot of my math, a lot of my science um, caught up. And so I graduated on time. I went to college. I started at a school called Illinois Wesleyan University in Bloomington, Illinois. From an accommodations perspective, like I had a nurse that really was invested in my success. It had teachers like and professors that really wanted me to succeed. Like I had this one professor, Dr. Mejia, and she brought her kid to the school on Saturday multiple times after a hospital stay to help me get caught up with work. It made an impression on me even to this day, because for most of my life, even in high school, I had so many people in me. High school, my entire life had that made me feel like I was a bother. Like if I needed additional help with something because I missed it, I was in the hospital, or if I was tired in class, or I had a medication that I was new to that was causing some side effects that were affecting my ability to do my best work in class, like I was a bother. Dr. Mejia, Dr. Rosner, I had an art teacher too. His name was Dr. Michael. He always going by his first name. They never made me feel like a bother, but I really wanted to go to my dream school. I wanted to go to Morehouse College. And so I transferred to Morehouse College. I learned a lot about myself, about my culture, about my history that I thought I knew, but I really didn't, or not as thoroughly as I thought I did. But Morehouse definitely socially, I was not prepared. I would be hanging out too much, and days I knew I wasn't feeling that great, like that maybe needed to rest. I wanted to hang out. I wanted to do what everybody else was doing. And Illinois Wesleyan was in the middle of nowhere pretty much. So the social scene wasn't as vibrant. But Morehouse College is in Atlanta. It's in a major city. So like there's always something to do. And that was it got me into a lot of things. But I did finally stop hanging out so much. But even after I stopped hanging out so much, I needed time to recover from some very extensive hospital stays. So it took me in total 8 years to get my bachelor's degree. So to anybody that is, I don't care what the reason, money, life, kids, grief, and some trauma or accident, anything, don't give up. Like it's not, if you really want to finish school, just finish, no matter how long it takes, no matter how slow it's going. There were times literally I could not afford to take a full semester, so I would take literally two classes a semester, which is nothing. You can do it. You can do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. Don't worry about the time. I know it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm not there. Like people are passing me up. Like when my cousin graduated college from Tennessee State University, I felt defeated because my cousin is younger than me. He's 2 years younger than me, and he started college after me, and he finished before me. And I was like, no way. Like, no way. And I was working hard. I was giving it my all, like, and I still was not finished. But I think if I had to say anything about just being disabled and trying to finish school is there were points I had to really accept that I needed assistance in certain areas. Like starting in like 2000 and spring 2015, I started putting all my classes in one building. I got diagnosed with avascular necrosis in 2013. And so I can't walk the campus anymore, like up and down these hills. Like it was just too much on my hips. So I had to put all my classes in one building. And it felt really, it was a lot. It really defeated about it. Like, what's wrong with me? I think if there's one thing that I really just want to do is like be doing what everybody else is doing. And so that's been my biggest hurdle to overcome. But when I admitted that, I had a little bit more success. And so asking for help is really not, or adjusting your circumstances to uh, adjust to your health, it's hard. Your ego takes a hit, your pride takes a hit. Yeah, you're gonna be doing things that other people are not doing, but it helps. And it can get you the same outcome that you want. If you can detach yourself from the look of it. I had this look in my mind, like, oh man, I'm gonna get my degree. And in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna get my degree and I'm gonna run down the middle of the thing. It's gonna be this Hollywood thing. I'm gonna be so excited. When I tell you, not only when I graduated, finally, I couldn't run, I couldn't even walk. I was on a walker. And it was like, what? And I had to detach myself from the look of, no, I'm not gonna be running down. It's not gonna be no, Hollywood thing. I have a walker and I'm gonna walk up there with my walker and get my college degree that I earned. Um, and I think this podcast kind of came out of the fact that I feel like a lot of disabled and chronically ill people feel this roller coaster. It's real up and down. But what we're shown so more often than not is this: they were down in the gully in the valley for a bit, their health kind of went down, then they found a way to get up there and they just overcame. And it's like, that is so not it. Like if it was just this overcoming thing, like number one, you will have a lot more socially mobile disabled people in terms of finances, in terms of employment, in terms of housing, in terms of social, status, whatever that means to you. But there's a reason that you find a lot of disabled and chronically ill people in similar social situations and social footings because it's very, very difficult. And so, in what Dave and I wanted to convey was the realness. And that's why you hear so many different stories, and no story is alike because no health concern is alike, even if they have the same diagnosis. I've had, for me, I know a lot of people that have sickle cell, but for me, I've had three hip replacements. I've had two hip replacements in 2019. I had a right shoulder replacement in 2021, and then I'm having my left shoulder replaced May 8th, 2025. So, like, I know some sickle cell people that have had strokes. I've never had a stroke. So, it's such a vast and various landscape. It's not a one size fits all thing. And we just really want to show you that it's a lot of difference. And even Dave and I, he was acquired. I was born with what I have. And I hope going forward, what you guys take from this podcast is that the dreams and goals that disabled and chronically ill people have are not different from everybody else. And how we accomplish them may be different. Also, to know the stories and lives that we lead are not often told. If you're one of those people that still struggles to admit, you're not alone. Because even now, this is like very daunting to talk about because I don't talk about it. It's like a part of me, like I wish I could just like kind of put it in another universe somewhere. So
Well, I just want to say, like, yeah, like Nick said, I really don't speak about it, and it's kind of one of them things where it's like, all right, I know I have it, but I know I've had a stroke and it affects me or whatever. But it's like I don't never want to display it or really talk about it. So like when Nick came to me about this podcast, I was very intrigued and was and I knew I had to get vulnerable eventually. I knew this episode was coming, but just having different guests on and they talk about their health concerns really made it, I guess you'd say, a little easier for me to say, okay, let me finally tell tell the world what's going on with me and how my life has been since I had my health concerns and what I go through. So yeah, just really hoping that this podcast give people an aspect on life that aspect that other people go through things and they're still able to move forward and talk about it. We just hope that we can build a community of people with different health concerns, or if you don't personally have a health concern, you know someone with one, and you would just like to give your feed or anything. We just want to bring some enlightenment to the health world in our lens. And yeah, so that's basically all I have to say. Yeah.
that's another thing too. Dave, you mentioned your dad, right?
Yeah.
Like your dad didn't have a stroke at 12. Like that wasn't his experience.
Yes.
But we're all affected by chronic illness, by health concerns, by disability. Everybody. I don't care who you are, whether it's your neighbor who had a bad car accident and now they got a bad back and they can't take out the garbage can no more. So you have to take out the garbage can. Like that's an effect. And so we all are interconnected. Like we're not alone in this. So even if you think, well, I don't have that, so what can I learn from this? Maybe you can learn to empathize. Maybe you can learn to just see it from someone else's perspective. Maybe you can learn to be vulnerable about things that we haven't or don't really talk about often. And I think you might say, like, well, how do you start a podcast about something you don't talk about? that's part of the moving forward with a health concern. It's not a linear path. It's not like I just got it one day and I loved it and I was great and I'm happy and it's all good.
Yeah.
It's just like life. Some days you get up,
Hmm.
it's raining, and it's like, man, I gotta get my umbrella and gotta make it happen. Some days it's raining so hard, and it's like I'm staying here, I'm watching Netflix, we chilling.
Yeah.
And some days it's sunny and you love it and you having a great day, it's a great time, and you're not thinking about nothing and nobody except, what you're doing in that moment.
Yes.
And so we wanted to give voice, but I think it's funny in trying to give other people a platform. Like you said, Dave, it kind of helped me feel like, man, I can do this. I can talk about it, and I can even ask questions that maybe never thought I would ask about myself. It's hard. It's hard, and don't discount the days of just because Dave, you've been through it, bro.
Yeah.
Like I know it. Nobody see the 16 years. Like we just see you at this point, but you've been through it, and you still are like in a lot of ways. You still trying to
Yeah. Of course.
address things and
Yes.
improve, even with your comedy. Like
Yes.
that's a new venture. That's a new chapter.
Yeah.
It's something that's unfamiliar.
And let me butt in real quick. So when I started comedy at 21, so I was going through it for a couple of months, and then I had another health concern. It was just my I wasn't watching my high blood pressure, and I got a wake up call. I had to go into the hospital. So it shut me, well, I ain't gonna say shut me down, but I had to put comedy on the burner for a little bit. So yeah, you gotta take your health seriously. So that's just a little tidbit I wanted to throw in.
No, I get that. I mean, and for me, they told me in 2013 I needed to hit my hips replaced.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, man, I want to get my degree. I want to get my degree. And so I'm just so dead set on getting my degree. I waited 6 years.
Yeah.
And by the time I actually got them done, like the doctor was like, I've never seen like something so complicated and somebody so young. Cause when I got my hips replaced, I was 26, I think. And so no, I was 25 because I had both of them replaced before my 26th birthday. And it sat me down. It took me to fully recover from both of them. It took me about 2.5 years. Like you said, that was a wake up call. Because if I had just got them, I probably could have recovered in about 6 to maybe like 11 months. But because my behind, didn't want to accept it, I had a much, much longer recovery process. I think it's important, I would say, for anybody, even if you're just caring for someone that has a health concern, acknowledge how you feel about it. I just started seeing a therapist like last year. And if there's anything I've learned, it's like the biggest problems I've had, especially emotionally, is because I wanted to act like I was fine. Whether it was for myself, because I didn't want to deal with my own emotions, or for other people, because I didn't want to answer their questions of how I really felt about it. Like, sometimes we lie to ourselves because you don't want to deal with it. Sometimes you lie to others because it's like, I'm tired of answering this question. I feel terrible. This life sucks, and I'm just trying to make it. But I think if you just, acknowledge, hey, bro, today is crappy, or today is good, or today I'm just doing terrible. I think it doesn't change everything. It doesn't change, may not change nothing as far as like the day to day substance of your life. But I do think over time, those emotions, if you don't get them out, it can lead you to some dark places. I'm glad everybody has watched this podcast so far. Me and Dave have a lot of things, ideas about how to make it grow. I hope you continue to follow our journey and come see the real life. I found healing in hearing real stories. And so hopefully you can find some healing too.
We really want to thank you guys for tuning in and taking this journey with us. This is the season finale of Office Hours. Yes. And once again, I'm your host, DSmooth, and I'm not here alone.
I'm Nick. Everybody, this has been season one.
Yes, yes,
Saying,
yes.
oh my gosh.
Yes,
Dave, Dave,
yes.
this started last November, like around like December, November, December-ish.
Yeah, you told me about it maybe
Or was that
October, November.
October-ish? Okay, October-ish.
Yeah, like that.
And now we
Yeah.
got the first season out, dude.
Yes.
I'll say one more thing and then I'm done.
Oh yeah, of course.
Sophia said something about like your journey and your time, and it's I can't tell you how many times I felt like time passed me by, or time doesn't pass you by, but life passed you by,
Yeah.
or like people are passing you by.
Mhm.
This is specifically for anybody with a health concern. Work on my dream. Work on it. Like work on it. Like I do what you can when you can, and give yourself grace. Like everything you're doing is productive for your dream. You resting is working towards your dream. Like you taking your medicine, you going to see your doctor, you going to paint a picture that gives you some relief from your anxiety or whatever it may be. You, I mean, whatever it is to help you, that's all productive to helping you towards your dream. Me and Dave, like, it's always been like up and down thing. Like some people we was emailing, they would email us back,
Mm.
or we would do some things and we lost files or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But we was like, man, we're just gonna, just keep chugging a little bit by a little bit by a little bit. I went in the hospital, and if you just a little bit, one at a time, it means something.
Yeah.
And your dreams are worthy, they're possible. And you going if you just keep going. And me and Dave, we're gonna use this podcast not only to tell stories,
Yeah.
but to make sure that any dream that people come, they can have it too. Because this is a platform that's not gonna just help people in the now, but it's gonna help people in the future too. Thanks everybody. Season one in the books.
Yes. 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 Thank you for watching.